Hello, classmates. My name is Sione Tipo. I will be presenting the team, interteam, or group level intervention of brainstorming. The contents of brainstorming that I will be covering is the origin, the overview of brainstorming, the strengths, weaknesses, how brainstorming can be applied, and at the end will be my references. The term brainstorming was created by a man from the Bronx, Alex Osborne, in the year of 1938. He was an American advertising executive and an author. He wrote a book called Applied Imagination and released it in 1953. Up until then, brainstorming was originally called a think up, and brainstorm was carried as an old medical association. In 1953, his term of brainstorming swept the world. Here, we will talk about the overview of brainstorming. It is a group problem solving technique that involves the contribution of ideas from all members of the group. From there, brewing over these ideas by one or more individuals is an attempt to find a solution to the problem. By doing this, people can think more freely and suggest as many spontaneous new ideas as possible, while writing them down to solve an immediate problem or fix a problem later on down the road. From our book of Organization Development Fundamentals, there must be a proven need for this group level intervention, or it may cause negative effects on the group practicing. Here are a few strengths of brainstorming. It can bring refreshing, diverse, and surprising ideas to the table. Acknowledging some of these problems can call for more than one problem solver and bring up new problems that others may be unaware of. A productive brainstorming session can quickly come up with dozens of ideas, each of which can spark a dozen more. If one person presents an idea or solution, then everyone else can take turn to build on that concept. It also gives people in the brainstorm session an opportunity to work with others that they probably wouldn't work with on a daily basis. This builds team cohesion amongst one another, leading to max production. This interaction breaks down a barrier and prompts everyone to see themselves as important, putting their best foot forward. And here are some of the weaknesses of brainstorming. Often, some of us may not even pay attention to these because we see brainstorming being nothing but a positive for an organization or a group. But to start off, it could be a disorganized free-for-all, causing more problems than solving them. By fighting this, you can create an agenda just by going in and with one topic and just letting everybody have at it. That will create some issues. Another weakness is that a brainstorm can be distracted by one group idea. That kind of just goes back to creating an agenda, but also outlining the topic of discussion and to stay on task. Bringing the group back by asking a question to create new multiple creative ideas rather than making it a groupthink instead of a brainstorm. Another weakness is a dominating personality that can be a distraction and intimidate others in the group who have less dominating traits to maybe be shy or closed off. Some with dominating personalities may not have ill intents, but it's just the way that they are. Battling that with asking questions to others, bringing people into the light of the discussion. And lastly, people in the group who just don't want to participate and rely on others to generate ideas. With that, it relates to the dominating personality and asking people who may not want to speak or aren't used to speaking in groups by bringing them into the light of the conversation and seeing where their head is at. This is where I see brainstorming being applied. And with my background in football, being in this organization for most of my life, this is where I see fit. A head coach bringing in a circle of his assistant coaches, brainstorming on the past season and currently in the off season where the team can improve on, and sharing his own ideas and taking in the ideas of his assistants as well, sharing his own vision and where and what direction he wants the team to go. By doing this, opening the floor to the assistant coaches, since they are closer with the players, he can give or they can give their own individual perspectives on what the head coach may not see on a day-to-day basis. This gives the head coach the ability to work with assistant coaches, build trust, team cohesion, and build a positive bond amongst each other. From this brainstorm, this can be carried into the meetings with the entire team, translating from the meeting room to the practice field, and finally executing these ideas from the brainstorm on game day to win. This second application, I wanted to bring it into the workplace as well, where a specific field within an organization is struggling or even succeeding. They can sit down and bounce ideas off of each other on areas to improve. Even though you may be on top, there's still areas to improve to make you better. By opening the floor to employees, it gives different perspectives of where the weaknesses of the organization are. People can build off of these ideas from one another. Someone might be struggling where another person has that as a strength. They can work with each other and be able to bounce ideas off of each other. The biggest component in the workplace, I feel like, is having someone not intimidate others into holding back their comments. This leads to the same issues happening over and over, and they won't be resolved. At the end of the brainstorm, where everyone has taken in each other's feedback, they can visualize how they can do their part as an individual to succeed and see how things will change with this positive intervention. And here are my references. I used some links and our book.